Hello everyone, my name is Jose from the Tulare County Library. In honor of Disability Awareness Month, this month's First Chapter Friday will feature Roll With It by Jamie Summer. Roll With It is about Ellie, a young disabled girl in a wheelchair who one day dreams of becoming a professional baker. She holds on to these dreams even though people's view of her kind of contrasts with what a baker should be like or what a young girl in a wheelchair should be like. Her living situation changes as her grandfather starts to suffer through dementia, and her mother and herself go to live with him to take care of that. Despite all of that and her mother's concerns of whether this is the right choice for Ellie, Ellie goes to try and prove that living here and moving here was the best choice for them after all. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into Roll With It by Jamie Summer. First chapter, Symmetry. It's kind of hard to watch the Great British Bake Off over plates of Stouffer's lasagna, especially since it's been in the freezer a while. The edges are dry and crusty, but this is about all the cooking Mom chooses to do. She says she likes to leave the fancy stuff to me. Really, though, she just doesn't have the energy to think about fixing anything that doesn't come with directions on the box. Our TV is so old and tiny that I have to lean in to see what Mary Berry is pursing her lips about. The bakers are making English muffins and she's giving the stink eye to the red-headed guy who didn't let his dough rise enough. If I were on the show, Mary wouldn't have to tell me how long those muffins need to rise. Any fool with a Betty Crocker cookbook or Google knows how to let it double. I pick at a shriveled string of cheese on my plate and imagine what I'd say if I could send her a note across the ocean. Dear Miss Berry, as an aspiring baker over here in Tennessee, I'd like to tell you how much I love every single one of your recipes, but especially your cappuccino coffee cake. I made it once for my mom, and she said both coffee and cake would never be the same again. I think she meant that in a good way. Also, would you mind sharing your secret to a good scone? Because down here, all we've got are buttermilk scones. Mom's phone rings, and now I'm left wishing I had enough sugar to try another batch of scones. The only ones I ever made came out so hard you had to dunk them in milk to take a bite. Mom hits pause right as Mary's about to call out the top 3 English muffins. I already know which one will win. It's all about symmetry. They have to look exactly the same. Mom sets her food on the coffee table. She's barely touched it, but she picks up her phone and walks into the hallway. She says, "Hello," like the conversation has already run an hour long. It has to be Mama. I saw off another bite of lasagna with my knife and review what I'm going to say if the phone rings again. And it's about what went down at school today. But there's not a single scenario where I don't get grounded. Grown up trumps kid like paper beats rock. Mom leans back in the hallway and mouths, "Chew, chew, chew," like I'm 5 and still in feeding therapy. I point at the phone, "Talk to your mother." Depending on how Grandpa's been doing lately, this could either be a really quick conversation or a really long one. I take my chances and hit play. I'm right about the muffins. When Mom still hasn't come in by the credits, I push back from the table and roll into the hallway. She's sitting on the floor with her legs stuck out and the phone in her lap. How bad was it? He locked your grandmother out of the house and called 911 to report a burglary. Well, yeah. Did the cops show up? No, he's done it enough times. She reprogrammed the emergency button on the house phone to get to her cell. Smart. Not smart enough to remember to put out a new hide key. She had to get the neighbor to break a window. I can picture it. Grandpa whispering into the yellow phone on the wall about voices and eyes looking in at him from the dark. Poor Mima. I wonder which window they had to bust. I lock the brakes on my chair and hold out a hand. Mom takes it and stands up with a grunt. Nice. Ellie, you're 12. Just wait until you're my age. You'll make all kinds of noises you've never thought you'd make. She tries to put on a smile, but it slides off. I hate it when she does that, pretends everything's rosy because she thinks I can't handle it. But I don't say anything, just grab her plate off the coffee table in the living room and roll on into the kitchen. I don't know the last time Mom ate a meal all the way through. I pop her lasagna into the microwave. If it's not Mima on the line, it's Lauren, my aide, calling to tattle on me, which, I check the clock, might still happen tonight with my luck. I'm not a bad kid, really, I'm not. It's just that anybody who sees a girl in a wheelchair thinks she's going to be sunshine and cuddles. Sorry for having an opinion. Sorry for not thanking my lucky stars you get to follow me to the toilet 3 times a day. And sorry for not loving the fact that someone else has to carry my tray to the table at lunch and that I have to wait at the back of the bus, coughing in the cloud of exhaust while the wheelchair lift goes down as slow as Christmas. I'm sorry for needing a little space, but mostly I'm sorry I let the whole being stuck in a wheelchair thing get to me today. I wish I could have brushed it off like usual. Then I wouldn't be in this mess. Mom wanders in the hallway, comes in and slumps down at the kitchen table. The microwave beeps and I plop the lasagna in front of her. It slides across the plate like a wet sock, and probably tastes like one too by now. She's rubbing her fingertips in a slow circle on the side of her head. I wish she would stop doing that. It makes me worry she's gonna go bald. I push the plate forward with one finger until it's about to topple off into her lap. She picks up a fork. Chew, 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 I say, and roll into my bedroom to finish my algebra. It's almost midnight, and I still haven't started my math. I forgot to close the blinds, and the streetlight outside is casting an orangey glow across the walls, but I'm too tired to drag myself into my chair and deal with it. The chair's sitting at a right angle to the bed, where Mom always puts it in case I need to get up in the night. Right angles. See, I don't even need the math homework. My current skills are greater than or equal to whatever problem set is due tomorrow. I could probably use some solid pluses and minuses to distract me right now. I can't stop thinking about what happened at lunch. It so wasn't a big deal until everybody made it a big deal. I mean, I get it. Lauren's whole entire job is to chaperone me from place to place. So when I pull a runner and disappeared, it kind of makes her look like she's slacking. But Emma Claire wasn't there today. She's basically the one friend I have at school. She also has CP, birds of a feather and all that, but she only has a limp and can still play soccer. I tell her she's got a touch of CP and I've got the whole bucket full. We're not close, but at least we sit together. And when she's gone, it's just me and my cone of silence in the middle of the cafeteria. So there I was, sitting at the end of the row of tables and away from everybody else like a doorstop. It was loud, not the kind of loud you can tune out. And it was chilly day. The whole place smelled like meat chunks. Barf. So I picked up the sandwich I had made from the cranberry relish and goat cheese, which Mom says isn't a sandwich because it doesn't have meat, and left. I just put it all on my lap and rolled on out and down the back hallway that leads to the exit doors by the gym. I sat in a little ray of sunlight that snuck past the dumpsters outside and finished my lunch. Then the bell rang, and I just needed another minute was all. Except when Lauren found me, I might have been dozing in the sunspot, and it might have been after too much travel time had passed for me to blame it on the chair, but I wasn't trying to skip class, really. The thing is, kids skip all the time, and yeah, they get in trouble, but nobody freaks out about it like they do with me because I'm a health risk. And okay, yes, it was maybe a teensy bit antisocial to go eat in a corner by the dumpsters, but sometimes it's all just too much. I get tired of bearing witness to everybody else's normal. I never got sent to timeout when I was little. I think the teachers couldn't bring themselves to lock me and my wheels in the corner, but I wish I could now. I wish I could just declare a giant timeout from school and people and take a long nap in the sun. I think about the Great British Bake Off again, and how happy the winner looked, holding up his English muffins like a doof next to tiny Mary Berry. I bet no one bothers Mary when she wants to eat alone. I bet she dines like a queen. One day I will write her a real letter and ask her to tea, and I could handle company if it were Mary. We would sit in easy silence and let the food speak for us. 2 days later, I am at school, sitting out front by the curb and waiting for Mom to pick me up. It's freezing. I don't care what they say about winters in the South. It still feels like a bucket of ice water thrown over you every time you go outside. You want your jacket, honey? Lauren stands next to me with one hand on the back of my chair. I shake my head. Don't look at her. I've got my backpack in my lap with my jacket inside. If I wanted it, I'd get it. I'm working too hard not to be nervous about this appointment, to have any room left to make small talk with Lauren. It's lunchtime and this is usually her Ellie break, but since the runaway incident, she hasn't given me an inch of space. I can tell she's ready to go inside to the teacher's lounge, down a lean cuisine, and check her Insta. I hate it when she calls me honey. She's probably 25 at most. I wish we could just wait together in the quiet. We need to talk about what happened the other day, Ellie. I look straight ahead. I can feel her hands on her hips. She already called Mom yesterday, just like I knew she would. Mom cut all my screen time for a week. A week. I wanted to explain myself, but I couldn't get the words out. I'd rather lose screen time than tell Mom the truth and have her think I'm not coping, as she likes to say. Ellie, honey, you cannot wander off by yourself after lunch without checking in with me. I was going to class. I don't believe science is by the gym, last time I checked. She should save the teacher tone for the teachers. I wheel around to her face and tap my forehead. Oh, little me just gets turned around sometimes. Ellie, enough. Your educational plan requires that I accompany you from the bus, between classes, and to and from the restroom. So you're saying I'm in trouble for going to my class? That's the thing about needing an extra special plan just to go to school. Sometimes it helps, and sometimes it's a leash you get tangled in. For a second, she almost looks embarrassed, and I start to feel a little bad for giving her the guilt trip when she's not even the one who makes the rules. But when mom flies up in the van and throws the automatic doors open like she's of the Daytona 500, she's an English teacher up at the high school and has to use her planning period to take me to my doctor's appointments. It's also a race across town to the children's hospital, but we've got only one ticket. The other times the cop felt sorry for us. On occasion, this whole crippled kid thing works in my favor. Today, we're on our way to see the neurologist, the head doctor, who reads my brainwaves. It's supposed to be sciencey, but it feels a little like visiting a psychic and watching her pretend to tell my fortune. I'm trying my best not to pay attention to the worry that's doing laps in my stomach. This appointment is a big one. It might really tell my future, and I'm not sure I'm ready to hear it. Where is your jacket? Despite the rush, mom has all the time in the world to look me over while I'm riding the lift that folds down onto the curb like a hand opening and carries me up and inside the van. It's like the world's slowest amusement park ride. But she doesn't wait for an answer because I'm finally up now and locked in. We're already going to be late, and I'm secretly glad. If it's bad news a few minutes later. I watch Lauren shrink and finally disappear out the back window. Mom keeps checking her phone. I reach as far as I can and grab it from her. Ellie, no texting while driving, young lady. I wasn't texting, I was about to text. Same difference. Same eyes off the road. Text who? Mom doesn't answer. I don't know why I ask. I know who. Dad. Dad, the lawyer who never calls or comes to anything because he's busy with his new family. Mom says he hopes to run for mayor someday. I bet he practices acceptance speeches in the mirror. The therapist mom made me see for a while when I turned 10 and starting ignoring dad's phone calls and emails said I have unresolved issues. She said I need to learn to express the hurt if I ever wanted to have a meaningful relationship with him. But honestly, it's been mom and me for so long, I think I'd rather just leave him to his bright and shiny new family. He might make it this time, she says eventually as we pull into the parking garage, and the radio goes fuzzy. Sure. And we'll stop there as Ellie arrives at her appointment. Thank you so much for joining us on this First Chapter Friday. Again, we were reading Roll With It by Jamie Summer in recognition of Disability Awareness Month. If you would like to check out your very own copy, check your local library. If they don't have it available, we can definitely put it on request for you. If you need anything else, feel free to reach down in the comments below or message us on our Facebook or our website, Tulare-County-Library.org. Other than that, please have a wonderful Friday and take care. Goodbye.